All I'm saying is that the biggest barriers that marginalized groups face when it comes to getting food, water, shelter, healthcare, and education are all financial. If you guarantee all of those things, you can make a huge step towards equality. If you guarantee all those things, it's gonna cost a fuck ton through taxes. After that, people won't have anything else to spend. Angel Face, most people already don't have anything to spend because they're spending on all those things I just mentioned. If you guarantee all those things, all of the extra income can go towards whatever the hell else they want. So you really want to give up half your income just to guarantee those things to everyone? Listen to me. I would give up my entire fucking income if that's what it took. Okay, I would do some dark shit. I would take a 6-inch wide butt plug and shove it up my ass for the next month if that's what it took. So you are a bottom. Go fuck yourself.
Y'all, it is the middle of January, and it is almost 60 degrees. In 2024, I need to learn how to keep my motherfucking mouth shut. It is cold, y'all.
I need y'all to understand that this is what winter is now. This is the new winter. These long stretches of uncharacteristic warm weather interspersed with sudden catastrophic cold snaps. And that the destabilization of our polar vortex, despite the fact that it brings these frigid temperatures, is of course directly caused by a warming planet. Our polar vortex used to look like this. It was a vortex. It was nice. It was kind of circular. It stayed in place. It did that because there was a bunch of ice at the poles that kept it at that nice shape. But now because the ice is melted, the water heats up, it creates these hot little blades of air that destabilize the shape and make it all wonky. The exact behavior changes every year, but basically this oblong shape gets sliced into, which causes sections to separate entirely, which then moves southward, bringing with them sudden extreme Arctic weather. And this is pretty much going to happen for the rest of our lives. So, guillotines.
People who comment mean things, negative things, trying to make me feel embarrassed or feel bad about myself, I just want to let you know that it's not going to work. I've actually overcome those emotions and I don't feel them anymore. And that's because in 2013, I ate a pizza roll while lying down. I was fully sprawled out on my couch in a V-neck tee because it was 2013. And I took a bite of a too hot pizza roll. And tale as old as fucking time, the filling spills out the side directly onto my chest, leaving a very visible burn mark. And so for the next few months, every time someone asks, hey, what happened there? I have to tell them about how I was eating a pizza roll while lying down and it went awry. So you can't embarrass me, and you'd be dumb to try.
What you claim to be an anti-trans bill is nothing of the type. This is legislation that is designed to make our citizens more virtuous, which is the very reason that we have a government, a constitutional republic in the first place, as represented by Thomas Jefferson, Alexander Hamilton, John Adams in our founding documents.
It is so interesting that you changed the words of Thomas Jefferson from what he actually wrote, which was all men are created equal and endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And it is also interesting that all of the names that you mentioned who built the foundations of this country were elite, slave-owning white men. It is fascinating that you think those are the virtues that we need to propagate and support by by passing anti-transgender children legislation. And how remarkable that you think you have the American view. How remarkable that you think you know what all Americans, all Tennesseans believe. And that if we are not supportive of this very narrow, discriminatory view, there's something wrong with our virtues. When in fact, the lack of democratic behavior, the lack of supporting of inclusion, the lack of supporting people for who they truly are, that is against who we are. That's why you even had to try and change the name from all men to all people. Well, transgender people are people, representative, and deserve to be treated as such by this body too.
Whenever you get that irrational urge to speak on Chicago negatively, I want you to take this very important safety precaution, okay? Take your dominant hand. It must be your dominant hand. We need maximum strength, and just don't hold back. Don't be shy. Just because I'm going to come over there and I'm going to do it for you. We don't care. We didn't ask. You'll literally just be minding your business and be like, oh yeah, I love Chicago. And downtown looks so beautiful in the summertime. And here comes a wild human being from Bumback, Nebraska. Like, that city is so dangerous. It's full of the Quans and the Shans and the Marcus. Every single time anybody brings anything up about Chicago, y'all are like, oh, city of vagabonds, scoundrels, beautiful city gone to trash, so violent. I need a bulletproof vest to walk through Evergreen Park. Like, Evergreen Park not even in the city. You don't even know what you're talking about. Shut up. We don't even want you to come here. All of y'all that talk negatively about Chicago, y'all all have a certain look to y'all and you stink a little bit. Like, y'all just had this certain like vibe to y'all. We wasn't really checking for you to begin with. For you to be opening your mouth and in the comment section, moving them fingers of yours, talking about something, the city is trash. The city is so full of hamburglers and woo-wops and all these different variations of slurs that y'all like to use, when in summation, you're just saying that you don't like people who are from cities, because any major city is going to have crime. And I did some reading, because I know y'all don't read for yourselves. It's very obvious. Chicago's not even on the list of most dangerous cities in America anymore. So when we gonna get a break? I feel like some of y'all are Olympic medalist haters, like best in show purebred. You wake up extra early in the morning to make sure that you have time to hate on Chicago. And I always tell y'all, hating don't make you no paper. None. Not a single drop, dime, nothing. It's not giving you not a single extra second in heaven, bro. Yeah, I was driving through Chicago and here comes somebody from Neck Pimple, Wisconsin. Yeah, I can't even come down to the city anymore because y'all have turned it into a giant flaming trash bin. So don't come. So next time you think about speaking on Chicago, take your right hand, like I said, don't forget it. Make sure it's your dominant hand.
When Western scientists wanted to study how deer make decisions, they went and observed a deer for a while. What they saw was that after some time of being in one place, the same larger deer would take off in a new direction and all the other deer would follow. They interpreted this as that one deer being the leader, the alpha, and that deer made decisions for the herd. This interpretation became the scientific standard for decades. Everyone agreed that deer had one leader, and other research crews replicated that research. After a while, another research team tried to replicate this, and this research team happened to be led by a group of women. All the other researchers had been white men. For the hour or so preceding the decision, what they observed was that all the other deer in the group would be looking up from what they were doing in one direction or another. Like us, deer only have a few places they're likely to go at any given point in time. After work, you might go to the gym or the bar or go home. A deer herd might go to the watering hole or a feeding site or their bedding grounds. And all the other deer will be glancing up at one of those possible routes. Once between 65 and 75% of the deer are looking up in the same direction, then the large deer will take off in that direction. So they're not making a decision, they're tallying the vote. And the other deer aren't following because that one deer is the boss. They're following because it is part of that one deer's job in the community to represent the group's decision. Deer have no alpha. For me, this is an amazing example of how our worldview shapes what we see. Those original white male researchers were probably good people and not even bad scientists. They weren't trying to misrepresent deer at all, and their interpretations were based in real observations. But their inherited lens of hierarchy, of patriarchy, led them to subconsciously omit the actual democratic decision-making process they were watching in front of their eyes and hyper-emphasize the one data point that supported their hierarchical, patriarchal worldview. All of us, but especially men, inherit a worldview, a lens of patriarchy and hierarchy. So when we look at reality, we project patriarchy and hierarchy onto it in ways that blind us to the true nature of community and reality itself. Until we wash the patriarchy out of our eyes by healing our own wounds, then all of our best attempts at rational thought, at seeing reality clearly, are tainted by those wounds and prevent us from being able to see what's right in front of us. Our privilege blinds us. We need less privileged perspectives to see reality. Speaking of what's right in front of us, I mentioned how deer have no alphas. Spoiler, this is true for humans and wolves, too. No alphas anywhere, I'm afraid. The whole concept was debunked almost as soon as it was published, and now if you hear someone say alpha, they just mean I'm projecting my wounds onto natural systems in an unscientific and harmful way to try and validate harmful patterns and make my insecurities feel powerful. That's all the word means anymore. Oh, I studied that history about deer in college, but when I tried to track it down, I could not find the names of that female research crew. If any of my wildlife bio crew on here know their names or research, please remind me in the comments and tag me. Thank you.
We take a bottle, becomes a glass. Where did it go? It's in my ass. Everybody hates magic, and I don't care. I have 3 ropes, all different sizes. Watch, I gather up the ends of the rope, give a little pull. Now they're the same size. I get rid of this rope here, take these 2, give a whip and nay, and now we got one big piece of rope. Now I'm going to show you the best part of the show. After this, you might poop. Watch, I take the ends of the rope, and then I take the middle of the rope, but they're going to change places. Are you ready? Why aren't you laughing? That was comedy. I take the ends of the rope, give a little twist, pull them right off. Now we got a rope with no ends. Huh? Ah, put them right back on and clap. Give me money.
Got a tube and a can of Coke. Put the tube over the Coke, turns into a 3-month supply of antidepressants. This is the mystical fold of Eldoray. Nothing on either side, yet when I reach in, we have 30 parking tickets unpaid that have resulted in a warrant for my arrest.
Here's a necessity for all my sad bitches out there. You've been let a little down in the dumps. Don't worry. Don't worry about it, man. If you got one of these bad boys, I can't find my other paw. How can you be sad when you're wearing a big yellow Garfield costume? It's harder.
Can I please go live in the woods for free? What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, I just want to go live in the woods. Like, I can't do this. You're asking me to sell you my entire life just to live with air conditioning? Like, I can't. You made me spend 18 years in school jail. No. The fuck do you mean? It's the woods. I don't care if I croak. I don't care what happens out there. I just want to go live in the woods. Like, yeah, no. What if I go really far? Yeah, we're gonna log that. We'll send men with
Bottle
guns,
rockets.
kidnap you and put you in a cage, okay? Don't fucking try it. Okay, fuck. So I live on the streets? That would be illegal. To exist on the streets? What are you, a vagrant? I didn't ask to be born. Shut the fuck up. Okay, well, I'm lucky that there's a creek where I exist, but you can't really drink it. You could drink it if you were inside. The water? Okay, and I'm kind of fucking hungry because none of the trees make fruit. You wouldn't let me do the woods thing. There's nowhere for me to grow a garden. You want me to pay you to catch a fish? Our fish. Okay, is this a forced labor camp? No. Okay, so I can't sleep, I can't eat, I can't drink water, and you're forcing me to sell my time and my work to other people in order to exist without you kidnapping me and putting me in a cage. Is that correct? Okay. It sounds like a forced labor camp. What are you gonna do about it? Didn't you say something about inalienable rights? Those words ring a bell. That's cute, yeah. I paid attention.
Where are you summering? At my apartment? That doesn't sound fun. You're correct. It is not. You're not doing anything. I'm working and overheating. Same. And I might go camping because I read a piece on Medium about how liberating camping can be.
I don't know if you should do that.
Camping?
Yeah, I just, I've been on fire a lot recently. And I think I might be on fire again soon. I'm actually already on fire again.
Nobody is talking to you. You are being a bummer and you're not invited to this conversation.
That's kind of the problem.
You need to be quiet. You literally work for us.
I just think I'm imminently becoming unable to do that.
Nobody wants to work anymore. You're saying it wrong. What you mean is nobody wants to work for free anymore. No one ever really wanted to work for free. Nobody is asking anybody to work for free. I mean, sure, yeah, the term free is hyperbole, but nobody wants to work for starvation wages. Right.
Hey guys, I am still slowly dying over here. If we could circle back to that.
I don't understand how that's possible. I've been recycling for years.
That's so great. That's so good. But I do think that we need to be talking more about corporate emissions and private jets and golf courses.
So you're saying I should not recycle? Nobody is saying that. You want us to play more golf? No. I didn't ask you. Right, but no is the answer.
I want you to stop watering them, actually.
The golf courses? Why?
Because it's an unsustainable resource expenditure on wealthy people's leisure activities. And I'm dying.
So what? That makes it okay to talk about other people's money?
Makes TikTok based on peer-reviewed studies and a wealth of research showing the harm of weight stigma, chronic weight dissatisfaction, and failure rate of intentional weight loss. Puts together a resource library where a compilation of the supporting research can be found in one place for free. Writes that comments will be moderated for pro-diet talk, intentional weight loss tips, misinformation, and hate speech. And you link the study. It is not one study. It is many studies and scholarly articles. I do not care enough to register with my email address to see that research. I know that someone who lost weight and kept it off. This is BS. Cool. Haha, you are so fat. Does anyone know if I lose weight? Enjoy dying early. I am just trying to better myself. This is not very negative and discouraging. OMG, I am on the wrong side of TikTok where my pro-Anna friends at. Your makeup is
advice for girls. Stop saying because I have a boyfriend and start saying because I said so.
Because I said so.
You know the thing conservatives say about, like, I don't know how you can let your political views, like, get in the way of friendships. And they've been saying that for a while, but at this point it's, like, kind of ridiculous that they haven't caught on. Because sometimes I feel like the way that they view it is very much like, oh, like, I would love to be your friend, but I can't because you disagree with me. But you take it personally. I don't want to be friends with you. Yes, it's the stuff we disagree on, but, like, let's take it a step further, right? Because you're not getting it. Opinions don't exist in vacuums. As far as I'm concerned, you cannot be a good person who supports a bad thing. Not at this point. Yeah, the Trump stuff, whatever, we don't support the same things, that's an issue. But you've proven yourself to have low levels of empathy, bad critical thinking skills, low self-awareness. I don't want to be friends with you because of those things. Your views have revealed your own bad qualities, and that is why I don't want to be your friend. Quite frankly, I'm concerned that it's not the same for you. If you actually thought that I supported murdering babies, why do you want to be my friend? I wouldn't want to be my friend if that's what I believe. Political views are not just political views, they're reflections of who we are as people, and I think that's important for you to understand, my guy.
So many people are so confused why there are so many girls that don't identify as feminists, because the basis of feminism is just that you want equality. So especially if you're a girl, how could you not want that? Problem is that the very thing that's supposed to be women speaking up for themselves and encouraging each other has been turned into something that should be looked down upon. Feminists get called feminazis and crazy man haters, and once you have that label, everything you say is disregarded, so girls don't want to identify as feminists because then people won't listen to them. My mom said something about shaving being hygienic, and I said, well, if it's hygienic, then why don't boys have to shave too? And then she got mad at me for saying some feminist thing, and I realized that what I said was disregarded because it came off as a feminist statement when I was just asking a question. A while back, I told a boy that it made me uncomfortable when he made comments about my body and about hooking up with me, and apparently he told people that I was crazy and hated men. It's just disheartening because I realized I can make as many of these videos as I want, but if someone doesn't want to listen to me, then they'll just call me crazy, and there's nothing I can do about that.
If I focus really hard, I go back to my backyard and help myself go hunt for lizards, give myself a big push on the tire swing. The past may only live inside, but I imagine I can still look out for me. And maybe if I grab my own hand, I could change the course of my own history. A teenage girl is still a child. How could I expect her to have healed so quick? And who am I to give up now? I left my whole life to my future self to fix. And maybe when I'm 85, I'll have my shit together and come back from this. And maybe I am with me now, holding my young hands inside my wrinkled fists. And what if I have my own back in time, time to unpack all that I've been with myself through? And what if God was just me the whole time? I was completely free to breathe and let myself grieve alone together with me. And I have grown up tall enough that I can boost myself up to climb tall trees, counting all the ladybugs I find up in the branches, picking tangerines. The sweetness that I swallowed then is still alive and blooming here inside of me, growing ever riper, ever brighter. Have you ever seen leaves so green? And baby, I'm sitting watching life go by on a big screen. Time is not something that we have to lose. And there's a child in my body, young and wild. She is not the villain she thought that she was once. There's a past that lives in all of us.
Oh! Oh. Ah. Oh. Ah.
It's not about whether or not fatness is healthy or unhealthy. It's about asking why we use health as an indicator of one's value and worth. Even if you are in the peak of your body and your health, you do not inherently have more value than the person who is dying. And implying that you do implies that our worth is dependent on what we can produce. Fear of fatness or fat phobia is an extension of ableism. We are afraid of being fat in a similar way as we are afraid of being disabled. And this is why body positivity must be intersectional as well. The same people who do not want fatness to be normalized are the same people to tell burn victims to go and hide their faces. No one wants to see that. The fact of the matter is that fatness, along with disabilities and chronic illnesses, can happen to anyone and is already normal. We just want to believe that we're the exception.
Bullshit. You do deserve it. You are entitled to it. The ones that are not entitled to it are the ones that took it from you in the first place. Nothing plays into the hands of the ruling class more than when working class people police their own. Don't be a tone cop. You are down here, and you're quarreling with other people in your class. Meanwhile, those way up at the top are fucking laughing their asses off. Have a fucking spine. Quit defending the boot. What doth the boot do? The boot do stompeth you. Food and housing are human rights. You have earned them just by being alive and being human. And you know what? According to UN resolutions, the entire world agrees with me. Every country agrees that food should be a human right. And do you want to know why food is not a human right? Because there's one country that said no.
And that one country is the only country that has complete veto power over the entire world. And that country is the US. And you know why they say that we shouldn't? Because it would be detrimental to the economy. Evil is the system which deprives you of your basic human survival needs by privatizing them, forcibly removing them from the public domain, builds a wall manned by guards, enforces a law through violence so that you can't have it unless you enter into a contract with these vultures, so that your time, your creative energy, your labor can be devoted solely to their self-enrichment. So no, I will not make myself small in front of these charlatans. I will say the word entitled and I will mean it. We live in a world where Jeff Bezos thinks that he's entitled to a $500 million mega yacht paid for with our money. We live in a world where Elon Musk thinks that he's entitled to all of the opportunities that he was given as a result of apartheid. Yes, he's entitled to billions of dollars each year of our money. And you're gonna tell me that it's dangerous for us to believe that we should be entitled to human dignity and basic human rights. No, I will demand more. I will not tone police. I will not accept my exploitation.
Can we talk about the artistic renaissance that we're going through right now as a culture? I mean, there's that bullshit line that all of the, like, capitalism bros keep throwing around. Oh, if you give people a place to stay for free, then they won't work. The explosion of, like, artistic creation that we've seen since the advent of social media and the way that that has compounded during quarantine is seismic. Like, sometimes you see these, you know, these little, like, 30-second videos of somebody just, like, painting, and you're like, damn, that's pretty cool, like, scroll. The fact that you can do that, the fact that there's so much amazing artistic content that you just, like, can't get through it fast enough is fucking staggering. If you think about where we got art from before, you start to realize how many people were just, like, creating amazing artwork silently in their house with nowhere to put it. We're going to be studying this time period for hundreds of years in art history.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Everything.
One time I had to leave Ricky at my parents' house for 2 weeks, and my mom made an entire book. Mommy said I was going to Grandma and Grandpa's. I packed my suitcase, ready to go. Grandma gave me my own play area. There was a brand new toy waiting for me. It was fun. Grandma made me pancakes. Shh, don't tell Mom. Cousin Jasper and Charlie ate most of them. Cousin Jasper and I played. Then we laid in the grass to rest. Cousin Charlie and I wrestled. Then we took a nap. Sometimes I played by myself. I helped Grandma do the dishes. Grandpa and I watched cartoons. Grandpa took me to the farm stand where I met a scarecrow and smelled some pretty flowers. I played in Grandpa's boxes. Grandma dressed me for Halloween and took me to the pumpkin patch. I didn't like it, but I love Grandma. I was having so much fun. Then Mom came to get me. I got in my cat carrier because you have to be safe in the car. I'll miss Grandma and Grandpa. Look for more Ricky titles.
In recognizing a communist, physical appearance counts for nothing. If he openly declares himself to be a communist, we take his word for it. If a person consistently reads and advocates the views expressed in a communist publication, he may be a communist. If a person supports organizations which reflect communist teachings, or organizations labeled communist by the Department of Justice, she may be a communist. If a person defends the activities of communist nations while consistently attacking the domestic and foreign policy of the United States, she may be a communist. If a person does all these things over a period of time, he must be a communist.